Hey everyone, I'm Jason Carter from the Pit Crew.
And I'm Edward Hansen, the luckiest man on earth right now.
True story.
And this is #AfterShow, and we're gonna recap American Horror Story Hotel, episode 6.
First of all, I thought this episode was a lot of things. You know, have you ever noticed that in any scene when Gaga's walking, it's not like a real-time walk. Right. It's like a slow Beyonce, Destiny's Child, Lose My Breath,
it's a goddess walk.
Yeah.
It's the goddess walk. It's like you guys are human, I'm not. I'm so sorry about it.
It's like she floats. So tonight's episode was fucking
gross.
Yeah.
It was really gross. Yeah. Like there was blood and weird looking things.
Threesomes.
Threesomes. I mean, that wasn't gross though. I'm not against threesomes or any kind of polyamory, you know?
We're gonna count down the top 5 awesome moments of tonight's episode. Number 5.
Okay, our number 5 moment takes us back to 1926, season 1 Murder House, and
that was the same house, right?
That was the house. Yes, that was the same house. You're not.
I'm not crazy.
No, you're not Detective John. Gaga goes up there like a botched abortion, Jean Harlow, and she is like seeing that abortion doctor. And she's like, I need to take care of this. She said she was like 3 weeks pregnant or something.
But then when they reveal her baby bump,
it was like me after 3 cheeseburgers, and I'm going to tell you something.
And it was like
that was a big old baby bump. It was big. I was like, honey, if your baby bump's that big at 3 weeks, I'm gonna tell you something. You're not carrying a human child, you're carrying Satan. In fact, she was. And so he takes her down to the basement, which is like awesome. If you're having any medical procedure in a basement, that's not fun, by the way.
Sketchy.
Sketchy as hell. And so instead of the abortion, they deliver a baby because she's 3 weeks / 100 weeks pregnant. And they literally, that baby jumped up out of her womb and killed the nurse.
Right.
It was like
it was like the alien. Sigourney Weaver just comes out.
Oh my God, absolutely, it was like Alien.
Scratched her vag on the way.
Yeah, it was so like Rosemary's Baby was born and literally killed a nurse. It was so horrifying. And then the doctor picks it up off the floor and he's like, oh, your baby's here. And she's like, a baby. Some say that all babies are beautiful.
No,
I'm not going to say that because this baby was literally the most terrifying thing I've ever seen in my life.
What was totally driving me mad though, Ed, was that the whole episode, we see Bartholomew, which is the baby's name, through the eyes of him. It's this very point of view.
It's like Seymour Butts porn. Like we only see POV, it's like we're looking out at the audience and we don't see what Bartholomew looks like. She loved that baby though. As soon as that little thing, baby, whatever it is, was in her arms, she was like, I love you, little devil.
We didn't find out what it was till later, but Bartholomew was definitely the talk of tonight's episode.
Right, for sure.
Yeah.
We both screamed louder than you can ever imagine.
Well, my scream's really deep and guttural.
Very manly,
it was like,
mine was not.
I suck at getting a physical. Turn your head and cough. Number 4. Ramona Royale and Donovan showing up at the Hotel Cortez to off Gaga and the children.
Some shit up. Mamacita came with a knife and she did not come to play, I'll tell you that much. Kathy Bates was in on it too because Kathy Bates is like, oh, I got my gun.
She got her piece. What I love though is that Angela Bassett, ain't no woman like a black woman scoring, ladies and gentlemen. She's like, you know what? I don't care if the baby's satanic. I don't care if the baby's from the gates and the depths of hell. He's going down.
And no one looks better being scorned than Angela Bassett.
Absolutely.
Because she walked in looking absolutely flawless and is a human vampire because it's not aged in like 20 years. Right. But here's the thing too, did she kill him?
No. She didn't kill him.
She did a rookie move, and the rookie move was she put the knife down for a second, looked under her dress, I'm like, honey, if you're gonna murder someone, I'm not an expert on murder, but I would say you don't put the knife down, especially when a demonic baby's on the loose. Yeah. Because all of a sudden, all we see is a POV shot of Bartholomew just attacking her. And I was like, no, don't kill Angela Bassett. We both agreed. If you kill Angela Bassett,
we ain't watching the show
we're
anymore.
Gone. We're out. So then we see that Donovan caught some feelings and went up to the penthouse where he and Lady Gaga lived. And he was like, I don't know, like sniffing her under. What was he doing?
He was sniffing her essence, Fame by Lady Gaga.
Yeah. And then all of a sudden, the dead Swedish girls, aka the dead ABBA, show up. And I was like, girls, and they were like, what are we doing? And he was like, well, you're here because
you can't leave the hotel.
You can't leave the hotel. That brings us to our third point, which is finally the plot line of the Hotel Cortez comes out.
Revealed.
And we find out that, basically, if you're not a vampire, you're a ghost. And you have to find a purpose in the Hotel Cortez, which usually means murder.
I knew it all along, though. I knew there were ghosts.
You sniffed it out.
I sniffed it out. But here's the thing, though. Isn't this storyline a little reminiscent of Murder House Season 2, where they were all ghosts?
Right. Except now we get chic vampires in the mix, like Ramona Royale, to hot vampire like Donovan,
but
and
they're
Gaga.
Vampires with no teeth, no powers.
I know. Like, you can't, like, move someone across the room without looking at them. Like, what's the point?
They're Twilight. This whole purpose thing is very perplexing to me because, one, it was really really great to finally see the plot revealed. Because for a while there, you're like, why can't they leave? But also, Sally, her whole obsession with John, and maybe that's her purpose, is to be with John.
She keeps screaming and crying about it and doing heroin over it, and it's like, hypodermic Sally is just like, you're gonna be with me! Yeah. Ah! Like, all the time. The twins, their purpose is to see the Fast and the Furious. Why? And also to go to the Universal lot, but clearly they can't until they kill someone.
Can we have a moment of silence, or not a moment of silence, but just a sidebar for all the hot asses that were in tonight's episode?
Lots of ass.
Scattered ass everywhere. It's like, you want an ass, you get an ass.
I know.
Hey, you want an ass?
Our number 2 is Holden waking up John as he's in bed. He wakes up and sees the children of the corn next to him, and he's like, even though it's his own son, and then he chases after him. Holden runs him down to the pool for all the coffins in the pool, but you couldn't have found a better location for the coffins, by the way. You have to have a weird empty pool, and I get that it's drought conservation, but at the same time, you couldn't find a basement.
I think the pool's great. I mean, it's a wide open space. No one's using it. Sure.
Right, yeah.
Where are they gonna put them? In the lobby?
But couldn't they go swimming instead or something? Why?
Okay, at the Hotel Cortez,
right,
you don't swim.
He goes down there and he sees Chloe all just and the funny thing too is that of course she's creepily sleeping next to Holden. Did you take a moment off from your dedication of your shrine to Holden? And then she's I get to sleep next to him now. It's weird.
It was very, very weird, those coffins. They were really coffins.
Yeah, and they're glass and they're see-through, and yeah, I could do without them, but he sees his wife, who's clearly on some Ambien, chilling out with their missing son. He flips out, and then she figures out that she's been caught, and then she devises a plan with Liz Taylor to set his ass up.
To play him like he's the crazy one.
Right, you're not seeing all this, you're just cuckoo.
Which I feel bad for John. John's the only person who is going through it legitimately.
100%. And no, here's the thing too. As far as they're concerned, John is literally trying just to keep his sanity and not pretend like he saw the blood and weird ghosts.
But he finally leaves though.
100%.
Thank God, because he wasn't dead. He wasn't a ghost.
Not before having a little three-way with the Swedes.
Yeah, but call an Uber and
Olga
keep it
and
moving.
Helga seduce him, and then they have all the blood, and then they're we finally found a purpose.
What I thought was really cool is that John finally went back home to be with Scarlett and try to have some kind of normalcy, some kind of sanity, and guess who follows him home?
Bartholomew.
I knew it. I knew it.
And it was just so, I also he tries to shoot him in the kitchen and he misses. Why does Bartholomew keep evading bullets and knives? It's you want to shoot a dead demonic baby? Okay, you better hit it. Chloe Sevigny shows up, and after all, she's I got a daughter. I forgot. Scarlett who?
And she looked great.
And she looked good.
Okay, the last couple of episodes, she looked like a librarian with that top knot bun. She looked like the Big Love all over again.
It was all over that, exactly. But she shows up, she comes around, and she pretends to care about her daughter for a second. She's oh honey, you're not safe here. Let me put you in a cab. And then she's off to grandma's. I don't care about
Horrible
you.
parenting.
Yeah, she's who cares about Scarlett?
It's worse than Dance Moms.
I know. Love it. So then she continues the facade of Detective Hottie being crazy, and she's John, you're just crazy. What are you talking about? A demonic baby that you had to shoot and blood all over the place? You're cuckoo.
She does go out into the garden and hears something, and then
it's all
okay, well, and that's what I understand.
Right.
He attacks everyone. Why didn't he attack her? But is it because they're kindred souls? Because they're both?
I think it's because she has Lady Gaga's blood running through her veins. It's a very gay and powerful and majestic blood. She smells that.
She could sniff it out.
Yeah, he's the baby's and then he's I'm a demon, and then she picks him up. Honey, you could not pay me $400 gajillion to do that. I'd be out of there. If I heard a weird gargling noise from my bush, I would literally shoot first and ask questions later. That was scary.
A highlight for me tonight, though, and I always wonder how much they're paying these actors, was John's naked butt for at least a good 6 minutes.
Gratuitous John ass.
It was just
gratuitous.
It was just cheeks jiggling. It was like a little John video. Run across here, butt shot. Run that way.
He was
another
inadvertently twerking too, because it was just ba-boom, ba-boom, and it was awesome.
Why didn't he get a goddess walk?
I don't know. Our number one point.
Whoa, wait for it.
Liz Taylor and Tristan, the love affair. Liz and Dick, except Liz and Tristan, okay? It is everything.
Right. Okay, so
I told you guys Tristan was hot. Y'all had to wait to this episode to finally see that Tristan was hot. Did you see those lips?
They opened the episode with them getting it on. And at first I was like, ooh, that's like kissing Whoopi Goldberg. But then I thought, no, it's kind of hot and endearing, you know? It was like really, really like...
He got turned on by those Betty Davis eyes.
I was like, all right.
When Liz and Tristan are in bed, because supposedly Tristan was straight, remember? But as we all know, the Hotel Cortez is very bicurious. It's
Bicurious?
Yeah, it's very polyamorous.
It's full-on pansexual. I thought it was endearing, though, because in the dialogue, he talked about, you know, him admiring him whenever he comes into the lobby.
Remember when he was like, most people see me and they think I'm just like a dumb, beautiful model. And I was like, well, you are, but that's okay. You know what I mean? That's okay.
I get that all the time.
You know what I mean? Because you can also, you can read, and so she knows that. She's going to give her a book. Then they decide that, what are they going to do? They're going to come out. So Tristan's they're like post-coitus booty call, and Tristan gets like a little text, and of course Lady Gaga's like, you better get your ass up here.
She says, come up here. Like,
do what you're here to do.
Come up here.
And so he's like, God. And so he goes up there, and Will Drake's there, butt-ass naked.
Honorable mention to all the butt shots tonight. You know this show was written by gay men.
And also when Gaga was like on top of Cheyenne Jackson.
Grabbing his ass.
Drake, I was like, is this the alleged Cheyenne Jackson sex tape? Or is this American Horror Story Hotel? I can't tell which one this is. They're both super hot, and I'm loving each one of them.
Right. She was like double fisting his right ass cheek. It was amazing.
You know what? I don't think little Cheyenne Jackson was coming to attention, or as we hope, big Cheyenne Jackson, or medium-sized Cheyenne Jackson, I should really say, was coming to attention, because remember, she's like, what more can I do? Then she's like, Tristan, get your ass up here. And Tristan shows up, and he's like, I don't want to do with this trick today, blah, blah, blah. She's like, you're pretty, and you're here for sex, stop it. And so then Tristan does his deed. Tristan gets them all once again. So Liz Taylor confronts Gaga, and it was very like Mariah, Nicki Minaj for me, like face to face.
However, Gaga, or the Countess, she was more accepting and open and loving, whereas Liz Taylor was kind of reading her
she was playing it cool.
But Liz Taylor was already on the defensive, like, listen, I know you go through men because that's what you do. You're a slut, but he's mine. He might be doing you, but he's thinking about me.
She's like, honey, you're the human grinder, or should I say the vampire grinder, and you go through men left and right, and you swipe them all day, every 10 years. Give me a bone, and his name is Tristan, and I just want one thing in life, and that's it, and it's him. Gaga's like, of course, she's all like, oh, okay.
No, she grabs him.
I know, she's like Elizabeth Taylor's like, you made me, and she's like, from one mama bear to another mama bear, and then it was like sweet, and we're like, oh, she's gonna finally get what she wants, and so she's like, get your like little trick over here, and so they go see Tristan, and Tristan comes up or whatever, and they're all sitting there, and Tristan,
and he's surprised that she's there, lady in green, like.
Right. Tristan does start popping off. You just go through guys all the time. And I'm like, okay, are we slut-shaming the vampire Lady Gaga? Because I don't appreciate that. You're allowed to go through as many men as you want in this life. You should do what you want. And I don't know if she got mad because of the slut-shaming, but all of a sudden, Lady Gaga's like, all right, you can have him. But then what does she do? He starts gushing blood. Liz Taylor freaks out because her beloved is on the floor. It was horrible.
Because you thought for one moment, people, that there was going to be like a happy moment at the Hotel Cortez.
You thought Liz Taylor you thought that a cross-dresser from Topeka was going to get hers, and she was going to be happy, and she was going to get the love story that she wanted.
Selfish
because
Gaga.
She's a goddess. And then what does Lady Gaga do?
Ends it.
The Countess was like, not on my watch, bitch. Sorry, I run things, and you're not going to get to have true love. Here's what Lady Gaga should have thought about. You shouldn't have done that because you just built yourself a brand new enemy. And not to mention Kathy Bates as well. Kathy Bates is over her shit too. You thought your baby was safe, honey?
No. The most Gaga moment for me would have to have been when she kills Tristan. She did it with such vitriol and did it with no kind of remorse or care. And the look on her face was like, deal with that now.
The most Gaga moment for me was when Mamacita was floating in the air in that white bejeweled Rapunzel-ass nightgown. It was like a beautiful white nightgown, very Disney princess, demonic Disney princess. She walked in to say hello to her demonic son, Bartholomew, or whatever, I don't know. And
whatever
she
it was.
Picked him up, and she's like, Mommy's here. And then it's like...
And then the face is revealed. Yeah.
It was a bad romance, you know what I mean? Between her and that baby. Like,
absolutely.
whoa. Like...
Someone call us, pick up the telephone. This baby gets no applause.
Yeah, Lady Gaga puns, our masters.
My hunk of horror tonight would have to have been Will. Only because the way Gaga was palming that ass cheek was priceless. Woo! Ryan Murphy, Brad Falchuk, good stuff. Two very enthusiastic thumbs up. Great family holiday fun.
My hunk of horror is actually, I'd have to say once again, Tristan. Did you see him laying down with that beautiful chest and those beautiful lips? I don't need to say any more. I need to excuse myself for a second.
And that smolder?
The smolder, and even when he was dying, he was super hot, and that's like really tough to pull off.
Oh, we gotta give an honorable mention to Detective John running around the hotel naked. I mean, that was glorious and amazing and life-changing in itself. I mean, I had a chubby. So I'm hoping on the next episode, we finally, maybe Bartholomew's walking and actually like playing as a toddler, playing like, PlayStation.
I love that.
Tetris with the other kids.
You'd like to see him progress.
Yeah, I want. It's like soap operas. Their kids are born one day, they're 20 the next episode, they're married the next episode. I would love that for Bartholomew.
To quote Suzanne Sugarbaker, I think Lady Gaga and Bartholomew need to get some black wigs and get the hell out of town because I think Ramona Royals and Donovan and Kathy Bates and now Tristan
and Liz, and Liz
Taylor, who's probably
woman scorned.
Don't get a knife near her, girl, because I don't even want to think about what Liz Taylor is planning on doing to you, and it's not going to be pretty. Mm-mm. Jason, thank you so much for stopping by. What is your YouTube channel?
My YouTube channel is Jason J. Carter on YouTube. You can find me there.
That's it, you guys. Thanks for watching the after show on World of Wonder. We love you, and we hope you tune in every single week. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for watching. And don't forget to subscribe to Wild Presents.